You might not believe in astrology yet because maybe you think it's just a generic way of generalizing people and putting them into a box of 12 astrology signs. I'm here to tell you that maybe you don't know that there is a full astrology chart that you can find based on not just your day and month of birth, but also your time of birth and your place of birth. So it's a very, very specific chart based on your own specific birth. Let me know in the comments, what is your sun sign? And also, do you know your moon sign? Do you know your rising? I would love to know. Please comment down below. Astrology is something that people dismiss easily, but remember that the moon also affects tides and it affects water here on Earth. And since humans are mostly made of water, that just gives you a little glimpse into the kind of power that the astrological aspects can have on us.
The universe. What a concept.
There are studies that show that if you are born in a certain season of the year, it actually affects you long term. It affects your DNA. So who's to say that we're not affected by the planets above us?
You know what I'm saying?
All the elements of the universe probably have a really strong effect on us that we probably don't even know. Let's not completely dismiss astrology, and let's remember that this is an art form that was used by our ancestors to determine the type of temperature, the agriculture, and the personalities that they're dealing with for trade purposes. So it's very fascinating to learn about. Subscribe and hit the bell icon so that I know that you want more videos like that, because astrology will not let me know that you like these videos unless you do. Let's dive into the crazy world of Kamala Harris's astrology chart. Kamala Harris was born on Tuesday, October 20th, 1964 at 9:28 p.m. in Oakland, California, United States of America. She has her sun in Libra, moon in Aries, rising in Gemini, Jupiter in Taurus, North Node in Gemini, Mars in Leo, Uranus in Leo, Pluto in Virgo, Venus in Virgo, Mercury and Neptune in Scorpio, Saturn in Aquarius, and Lilith in Sagittarius. We're gonna go one by one and see what each of these things actually mean, and how each placement in her chart symbolizes a different aspect about her life. By looking at Kamala Harris's chart, we can look at our own charts and look up our own placements, and maybe that will help you understand yourself better as well. So now let's begin to make assumptions about Kamala Harris's personality, her abilities, and how she might perform in the future. In astrology, the sun symbolizes your core personality. The sun will reflect the ways in which Kamala Harris feels on the inside. Her sun sign is in Libra. Libras are all about fairness and being diplomatic, which makes them natural-born leaders. They're basically the peacekeeper of the Zodiac, always trying to keep everybody in harmony. And who else is better in politics than someone who can soothe the whole situation with a charming phrase? But here's the thing. Libras are notorious for being indecisive. They weigh every option like it's the last one they have, and it takes forever to get a final answer from them. If you go out for dinner with Kamala, get ready to have 30 minutes, 45 minutes of choosing between sushi and Italian. In astrology, the moon symbolizes our emotional state and how we deal with emotions. Kamala's moon is in Aries, which means that she doesn't take any time to respond to nonsense. Aries brings a lot of fire into the emotional world of a person, and they're definitely not quiet when they feel the need to respond. They're emotional and responsive, and their responses are sometimes a bit too much to handle. But basically, Moon Aries is not afraid to show how they feel. And I can definitely relate because I am Moon Aries and it's very hard for me not to speak my true emotions. Aries Moon is the kind of people that will throw a fit and then get over it in 5 minutes. And this can be a problem because it may make them feel and seem aggressive and like they lack control to other people. When you talk to somebody who has their moon in Aries, you need to explain yourself real quick because they have no patience. You basically have 10 seconds to explain yourself, like, come on, time's up. And then if they don't like what you say, they go from 0 to 100. And the only thing I can say that maybe is a good part is that at least they're being authentic and you know what they're feeling at all times, but it can be a lot. In astrology, the rising represents how we project ourselves into the world.
The significance of the passage of time. So when you think about it, there is great significance to the passage of time.
Maybe it's a small issue, it's a big issue.
It is time for us to do what we have been, and that time is every day.
Kamala's rising is in Gemini, which means that she is very quick-witted and a strong communicator. Gemini rising are the type of people that would come into the room and just start a conversation with anybody.
Hey, what's up?
Yo, what's good, G? What the
Yo,
fuck
can I
is
get a
this, dog?
spot?
What the
But Gemini rising also has a reputation for being scatter-minded. It's basically like their brain is a web browser with 20 tabs open at all times. They might jump from a topic to topic so fast that you will just get whiplash just from having a conversation with them. Mars is the planet that shows the way in which we get our motivation in life. And Kamala's Mars is in Leo. So we're talking big actions and big drama. Leo in Mars is all about making statements. Kamala doesn't just want to enter a room, she wants to own the room. With this placement, you might have a flair for the dramatic and know how to make things happen in a bold and confident way. But with all that Leo energy, there comes a little bit of ego. Mars and Leo can be a little too proud, sometimes pushing for attention when it's not even necessary. Kamala probably thrives in the spotlight but struggles with criticism. Leo hates being wrong and will do anything to prove that they're not wrong, even if they have to be the loudest in the room.
And so it shall be.
Kamala's Leo in Mars means that if you're going to criticize her, you better be ready for some pushback. Because when the lion is challenged, they do not take it kindly. In astrology, Venus represents the way that we view relationships and beauty. And when it comes to love and relationships, Kamala's Venus is in Virgo. And Virgo is all about practicality and service. She's probably the type who shows love by doing things, whether it's an act of service or giving advice or just making sure that the person feels taken care of. But Venus in Virgo can also be overly nitpicky. Kamala probably has a tendency to critique people that she's close with. She probably thinks that she's helping them, but in reality, she's being overly critical. Having your Virgo in Venus means that you have a running list of things that you want people you love to improve on, and that can be tricky. In astrology, Mercury represents the way that we communicate with others. Kamala's Mercury is in Scorpio, which means she's intense, focused, and does not forget anything. Mercury and Scorpio people are natural detectives. They see through the lies and get to the heart of the matter. Kamala's communication style is direct, sharp, and sometimes cutting. She's the kind of person that will drop a truth bomb and leave everybody else silent. But Mercury and Scorpio can also be very secretive. Kamala might be playing her cards close and only revealing what she wants you to see. She has a really good poker face, and when it comes to strategy, she knows what she's doing. But Mercury Scorpio can be too intense, and they can come off as intimidating. And when Mercury and Scorpio locks in on a point, they will go all in, whether you're ready or not. In astrology, Saturn represents our discipline, and Kamala's Saturn is in Aquarius, which means that her duty comes from the desire of wanting to change the system and be innovative. Saturn in Aquarius people are people who see the bigger picture and always look 100 years ahead. They are not afraid to fight for their long-term vision and to challenge the status quo. But Saturn in Aquarius can be stubborn. And as we saw with her other placements, there's a whole lot of stubborn in there. This stubbornness comes from their vision of the future and the possibilities. And they will just not budge from a point that they think is necessary. In astrology, Jupiter is the planet of expansion and how you can find growth in your life. Kamala's Jupiter is in Taurus, which is the energy of stability and being in no rush to get things done. Jupiter and Taurus are ready to build things brick by brick, and they will simply not stop at anything. Remember how we spoke about having stubbornness in her chart? Well, this is another big moment of stubbornness because Taurus is also a fixed sign, which is a sign that is not ready to budge when they have ideas. But sometimes Jupiter and Taurus can be a bit too slow, and they might miss opportunities. Taurus can also be a bit too indulgent and treating themselves for nice dinners and nice jet flights whenever they feel the need. Taurus really lacks flexibility, which can be difficult if there is a change of plans. If it's not in the plan, then Taurus doesn't want anything to do with it. So do you have any placements in your chart that are similar to Kamala Harris? Let me know in the comments, and also let me know who you want me to make a video about next, because I would love to know and I will make it
just for you, because I care about you having the best astrology content there is. I personally really enjoyed reading my astrology chart because it made me understand myself better and it made me understand the people around me much better as well. So thank you for watching, and I'll see you very soon. So stay tuned for that.